Good day, everyone. You're welcome to another session of Data Driven Story. Today, we'll be looking at creating dependent dropdown in Excel. Don't forget to follow me, like my content, and share. So, looking at this data set, we have company view, which gives us we have operations, sales, finance, and human resources. And under it, we have various units. Now, we have this employee data set that we want to, put each employee into their various groups and departments. So I have an option to either to type in directly. For instance, Francis Bull. Let's assume he's in sales. Then under sales, I can say he's in retail group, right? However, instead of doing this, there could be mistake in typing, and by the time we're running our analysis, we could run into a problem of having error in our data. So in order to prevent that, we can actually create a dropdown. Now, the first thing we do in this instance is that we have to label each groups. So for this, we're going to look at operations. We're going to create a group for operations. Just copy that. I like doing this so that there won't be any mistake in maybe typing or something, so we can have typographical error. So we'll click on all the units under operations, just the way I've picked it. Pick them, then go here and name it. So drop operations that we copied earlier, drop it into the space provided and click enter. Excel will automatically create that data set. So that's grouped it, that's named it operations. So we'll do the same thing to sales. So I can fast forward this. You're welcome back. Now that we're done with that, we'll now create. Now we know we've created the group for each unit. We now have a bigger subgroup where you have the company view. All this also will now be created. Don't forget, what we're trying to do is that when I impute the grouping for Francis Bolt, I want to be able to return all the lists of items under that group, so that I can pick the department where Francis Bolt is. So for instance, if Francis Bolt is in sales, I want to be able to put him in sales group. And at the same time, when I get to the department will only reveal the unit under sales. So we have retail group and corporate sales, right? So I've given the unit names. So I'm going to now also name the group itself. The group itself is called company view, right? So how do we do that? The same way. Now something's going to happen here. I want us to just pay attention. So I click on this, then I go here. The same thing, the same process. I'm going to name that group. So I'll give it company view. Watch what Excel will say. It says that you must enter a valid reference you want to go to, or type a valid name. Now, why did Excel give us this error? The reason is this. What we are doing is coding, right? And we are using M code, right? That's the code that is used in Excel. Now, for M code, it does not recognize this company view because there's a space in between. So what you can do, or what you're advised to do when you are coding in Excel, is to have either the name together like this without a space, or you can introduce underscore. So we can have company view together or company underscore view. So that is the only way Excel will accept it. So let's do that again and see what it will give us. I'm using an underscore, and you see it has been accepted. So when I click this drop down, I can see all the groups I have created. For the grouping, we'll go through this process. Click on the first cell under the group, click Ctrl Shift down, right? So that we can apply that to all the cells under grouping. Then we'll go to our data tab and then go to data validation. Click on that, pick list, and then under the source, we'll come here and click this. I want you to see what Excel is going to do. You can see Excel is telling equal company view because we've already named this item earlier as company view. So Excel understood what you're trying to say, that you are referring to company view, the group called company view. So you click OK. So Excel automatically does that for you, and then you have the drop down. So you can see, so when I click anywhere here, I can just pick whichever group the person belongs to. So now it's time for us to create a drop down for department. Now for the department, we want it to mirror whatever is within the group. So if I am Francis Bolt, right, and I'm in sales group, right, so I can either be in retail group or corporate group. So what I want the drop down here to mirror is whatever it's in the cell presented to it. That means, for instance, for Francis Bolt, whatever is in E9, right, is whatever I pick here, whatever it's there, whatever it's with the units within that group is what I want to reflect in the drop down in department. So how do you do that? So you come to this cell under department, click on Ctrl Shift down to highlight all the cells in that column, right? Then we go to Data tab, Data Validation. We go to List. Then under here, we're going to impute a formula called indirect, equal indirect. Then pick, don't forget, this formula is referencing this particular cell. So we have equal indirect. Then we click on whatever is here, we wanted to mirror it, right? Then you have to convert that absolute referencing into a relative reference by simply clicking on F4 until the dollar signs are off. That's 3 times. Dollar sign will be off. Then close the bracket and let's say OK. So let's now test our drop down and see if it works. So for Francis Bold, we can have retail and corporate. So let's go to Grace Darling, the next record, and click on finance. Let's go to department and see what comes up. You can see we have financial control, treasury, and budget. For Lovett Badmus, we could have, say, human resource. So our department under, you can see the unit there. So training and development. So then that is how you create your dependent drop down in Excel. Thank you. Don't forget to follow me, like my content, and share.